Hello, 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 hello. Oh, I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. I am. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for chit-chatting with me and letting me get all this out. Thank you for the kind comments. I love you guys so much. There's so much going on. Like, I've never did these many videos in such a short span of time. And I can say for a fact that it is tying into my personal. But, you know, that's what Meghan does. Like, I'm going to blame her. I'm going to do one of her numbers. You know, she's always doing something. And so I have to stop what I'm doing and talk about her. It's her fault that I can't get anything done. I can't get finished washing my clothes. I can't finish sweeping the floor. I can't do anything because it's all Meghan's fault. It's her fault. Now, I'm saying to you guys, if you got to sit here and listen to me, it's Meghan's fault that you have to sit here and listen to me because she's running around with these shenanigans. That's how she sounds right now. But what I do know for a fact that once again, Meghan has played her cards in the wrong direction. Okay? Right now, we are supposed to be talking about how bad King Charles is because he's the royal racist. But it has backfired. No one's talking about the royal racist. We're talking about Scobie and his deceptiveness and how Meghan and him collaborated together to do this. This is Meghan's MO. How many times have they told the story? How many times do they are trying their best to get who said it out? They've been trying to get it out from the Oprah show, from the docuseries, from everything. Meghan wanted us to know this. And instead of telling us on the Oprah show who said it, which would have been a better moment, she's waiting to tell us now. And now people don't care because number one, it wasn't racism. Number two, it's old and debunked. And number three, number three. She should have told us in the beginning. She didn't. And now the focus is not on the racist. The focus is on Meghan and Scobie and Harry. How they continue to talk and try to trash and bring down the royal family. How they continue to be victims of their own circumstances. And how they continue to blame others for the situation that they're in. And then not only does she do that, but she's strategic in it. I do believe that he leaked. They put out who said it. I'm gonna make up a name. I don't know who the second person is. I'm gonna say it's William. William and Charles are the two racists. And Scobie said that he was going to tell us who it was, and he did. Then he lied and said that he didn't want to get in legal trouble if he puts it out there. Legal trouble with who? Meghan or the king? Because Meghan, for some odd forsaken reason, is being very quiet. Normally, she would come out and be like, we didn't do that. As soon as they was in that car chase the next day, she came out. It really happened. Now, all of this is going on and she has nothing to say. Your name has been brought up on every page of Scobie's book. And now you don't have anything to say? Why? Because he made you look like a queen in the book? Meghan is perfect. She never does anything wrong. It's everybody else's fault. You know what? I would have to say this is a defining moment in my channel because if you notice, this is all I talk about is this part of it. I really don't try to get into what she's wearing and where she was at the concerts and stuff. I don't care. This is the meat of it all right here. This is going to end her for good. And she has her own self to blame. She wouldn't shut up. Tyler Perry told her on the docu-series, don't be worried about that stuff. Don't listen to that stuff. You can't be reading that stuff, Meghan, because if you read it, you'll get caught up in it. Tyler Perry that would have been nice if you were telling someone that was really listening to you, that really took your advice about shutting up and, you know, don't worry about that. But obviously she can't. What she has done is dug up, unburied something that she should have kept buried. But she can't. She has to keep talking about it, keeping it alive, keeping it breathing, this racist stuff. And what it has done is it has tarnished her reputation instead of the reputations that she's tried to attack. If you don't have nothing good to say about anybody, Meghan, then don't say anything at all. But if you always are patting yourself on the back like you're this wonderful person, people start to look at you and be like, okay, you have no flaws. You are perfect. You didn't cause any of this drama. It's everybody else's fault. And now people are starting to see. And I'm going to let you guys, I'm excited because they're starting to talk about it more. They're starting to talk, to me, they're starting to talk about the blaming, the deceptive, the manipulation, the, not that they wasn't, but this video I'm about to let you guys listen to really stopped me from folding clothes. Meghan's fault that I had to stop and talk about her. It's your fault. It's not my fault that I didn't do it yesterday or last night. It's her fault because I got to talk about her. Let's get to it. And I don't know why Scobie is in scrambling mode. This is that stupid stuff. You know, he know good and well that he did slip that name in that book on purpose. And instead of Harry, Meghan, and Scobie getting the reaction they thought they were going to get, they're not. I'm telling you, Meghan thought that we would be trashing the royal family by now because they're racist. That's not happening. No, what we're doing is we're talking about you and Scobie and why would you guys continue this stupid stuff. It's childish. And it goes to show you how obsessed Meghan is with the royal family, how she can't get them out of her mouth, how she can't get them out of her brain, how she constantly has to talk about them, defame them, and trash them, and for some stupid reason to make herself look good. It's despicable. I don't like this eye. This eye is doing something. We're going to roll with it, okay? I know sometimes my lashes was twisted yesterday. Hold on.
He's been forced to deny that he...
Let's do this first because I think this is going to name the second one, okay?
He names the royals accused and he's saying it was a translation error.
That's right. So let's now talk to royal journalist Rich Evers, who broke this story.
He broke the story.
About the Dutch translation. Oh, good morning, Rick. I think it's Rick, is it? Sorry.
Rick, who is it?
Right. Just tell us what's happened here. How did this come to public attention?
Yeah, I really assumed I didn't have something special at all because everyone in the world got the book and the manuscript a week before. So I would assume you had the same scoop as I would have. So the names I cannot mention.
So why you can't mention it? You got the manuscript. They gave it to you. It's public knowledge. Now you can tell us. Let's see if he tell us. Okay, if he's just going to dangle it, then that he's doing the same thing Meghan and Harry them doing. But moving on. He was given a copy of the book. And so okay.
In your books as well, but something seemed to be different.
And Rick, the books, they're talking now they're going to pulp these books, but you're pointing out, aren't you, it's a bit late. They're on sale right now.
He wanted it out.
Yes, yesterday I heard from the publisher that it would get out of sales, it could be out of the shelves. And today, this morning, I went to my local bookstore and it was still there. So some other people missed that memo again.
And have you had official news from the publisher in the Netherlands? What is going to happen? Are they going to take them all off the shelves? Are they going to literally pulp them, as we've been saying?
Yeah, they're going to pulp them indeed, and they will have a new stock soon, they hope. But
he
they don't
said
know when.
that the books are still out there, so which means that they ain't pulling them that fast.
Because The official thing was that it was because of were some discussions about some of the paragraphs. They wouldn't exactly mention which paragraphs, of course, which is something different than just a translation error.
Rick, what is going to be happening in Holland now? Will mainstream media report the two names that are in the book? Obviously, it can't be proved whether it was true or not that they've said, but will it be reported or not?
In the Netherlands, yes, of course. It's black and white in the book, so why wouldn't we quote Mr. Scobie, what he's writing in his book?
Yeah, and that's going to be a front page story, presumably.
So
it's more in the news in England than in the Netherlands, believe me. We don't care so much.
Well, you've got your own royal family, of course.
Yes, of course, and our Queen Maxima was stunning yesterday in Paris, so that was maybe front page.
And so just tell us...
Okay, for some reason, they're not telling us who the second person is. I know you guys already know, so hit me up, let me know. But, okay, I'm going to make up a name. It was Camilla, it was Catherine, it was William. It doesn't matter who the second name was. That's that craziness. Okay, let's move on. I really want to do a video on the whole he didn't know and how people are starting to feel. It's not about who said it anymore. It is about Meghan and Harry's constant vitriol attack on their family. And not only that is how they want to perceive themselves as the golden people. Meghan's golden. She does nothing wrong. She's perfect. And Harry's just letting her do it. I want to talk about that, okay? The breaking news is they know who the second person is, but they won't tell us yet. This is that stupid stuff. But what's interesting is if they're pulling books from the shelves, then why is the old book still sitting on the shelves? Why? I mean, it should have been a new, pull the books right now. All the people at the bookstore would have just removed the books. No, they want us to know. As a matter of, no, they not just want us to know, but Scobie wants us to get the book and read it ourselves, whether it's the one in Holland or the other one. But you have to have first put it in the book for people to have a copy of it. And so he did tell us, Scobie said he did know because Meghan told him. Meghan showed him the letters where him and King Charles were conversating. I don't believe she sent King Charles anything. I believe Meghan made that up, wrote the letter herself, put that information in there, and is over there creating crimes. I believe that she's unhinged, out of control, and her not coming out debunking this, she would have been said something if she was against it. Just like she did the 2-hour car chase. Just like she said that she didn't get an invitation. Just like Meghan is not, she's reading the room right now. She wants Serena to call her up and say, are you okay? I heard about the racism information. No, Meghan is trying to prove to her celebrity friends that it's true that she was discriminated against, but there's no proof. And Iman, that information that we talked about last night on my other video is a bunch of hoopla. And it's not racism. And to dig it up and to stamp it as that is insulting to us all, Iman. Stop that regurgitating stuff that you're talking about. Racism is racism. If you have been in a situation that you have been treated unfairly and was been racist against, then I don't know how to say it. Then you will know how it feels. You don't have to read it in a book to find out if someone was discriminating or doing racism against you. You know because you feel it. But Meghan wasn't even in the room. So the third party, the second, Harry telling her and her changing the story around to make it be like racism is a foul. And people are finding out that she is still whining about something that she wasn't even in the room to hear. and that has happened years ago, and we have already told her that it wasn't racist, that she now wants to name it, and now it's making her popularity and Harry's popularity and Scobie look like three idiots running around playing childish games. And who would take Meghan seriously? How is she an influencer? How is she going to help my daughter to become? How is she better than Kate when she's running around with this drama? That's that stupid stuff. For Scobie to even look like, I haven't even got to that real deep down what I want to talk about when she's comparing herself to Catherine and she can't. It's obviously that she hates the royal family, and she's bent on taking them down. And if you go over there to that Sussex crapola, it gets even worse, because it bothers my mind to know that you Sussex squad thinks it's okay to trash and talk about her family as if that's what she wants you to do. Is that why you do it? That's the only question I have for the Sussex squad. If I have an old Sussex member, please answer that question. Why would you attack the royal family? Are you getting your vibes from Meghan? She hates them. So you should have heard them people over there praising Scobie's book and all excited about it. But they ain't going to talk about the leak. They believe anything that they say over there. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Bombshell book on the royal family has caused plenty of controversy around the world, but in the Netherlands, it's actually been pulled from shelves because of what they call a translation error. Dutch versions of the book are said to reveal two, in inverted commas, royal racists who are said to be concerned about the colour of Harry and Meghan's unborn baby. Joining me in the studio, Talk TV's royal editor Sarah Hewson. Well, it's all kicking off, isn't it?
Isn't it? Scobie said that this was all under control, as publishers all had it under control. It doesn't feel that way, does it? With books being pulped in the Netherlands, pulled from the shelves because of what the publishers there, the Dutch publishers, are describing as an error, a translation error. I don't know.
I have never seen this before ever in my life. I've never seen, and I know it can happen, people writing a book and they needing to pull it from the shelves because of whatever reason. But it's not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. And I can just see all three of them sitting around conjuring this up, saying, you know what, we're going to say we didn't see it. We didn't see it. It was an error. It happened. He's going to make up some cockamamie story as to why that's in there. Well, I had it initially in the book, but then I realized that it was illegal. It would have been some legal implications. And so I had it removed, but obviously they didn't get removed from there. No, honey, baby doll. You wanted us to know. Meghan wanted us to know. Meghan wanted us to know on the Oprah show. But I believe Harry must have said, no, Meghan, we're not going to do that. Let's give him that. And then she's like, well, then fine. But she was eventually going to say it, because I do believe that they were blackmailing the royal family and saying that, listen, if you don't give us this, this, and this, then we're gonna name the royal races. We're gonna keep talking. Because Harry went on an interview and said that this was the only way that he can reconcile with his family was to come on TV and talk about it with all of us. This was their last attempt to bring the family, him and Meghan, to reconcile with the family, because they didn't want the institution. They wanted the family. But the kicker part about it is Meghan told on herself when she said that she wrote to the king to discuss the racism issue. But why would you discuss it after you tell us? Like Michelle said, I know I say this a lot, but it's important to me. Michelle Obama was, like all of us, is trying to figure out, why would you go on national TV and write it in books and constantly attacking the royal family and trashing them and lying on them and saying that they're racist? And before you went and had a conversation with King Charles to understand the whole incident of what happened. Here's the thing. If you're going to accuse me of something, don't tell me after the fact. Tell me before so I can explain it to you so you can understand that I meant no harm. Let me say it again because I know it was a little twisted. If you're going to accuse me of something and then not confront me about it, but then go tell everybody else about it, how am I going to be able to defend myself against the rumor that you have started against me? Why would you say that I'm racist without coming to me and asking me about it, but then you're going to ask about it later? I'm not telling you nothing now. If you didn't want to know before, then why do you want to know now? She didn't want to know. She wanted to write it down in her Rolodex and keep it as leverage to manipulate and bully and to do exactly what she's doing with the royal family, as if it's a game, as if it's something to play with. But when you act ugly and do ugly, ugly has a way of switching it around on you and shining a light on the nastiness that's inside of you. How dare you not come to me and tell me that you felt this way about whatever conversation I had in private with your ding-dong husband, now considered your pet? Because whatever he heard, and then whatever he heard from you, you took it and twisted it and made it into something ugly. You and Iman, unconscious bias, covert and introvert, all this other stupid new racism stuff that they coming out with. Racism is just racism. And how are we going to get away with it if we keep trying to find new ways to call it? And not that we're trying to get away with it, but being aware of it. And asking about what color and what your baby gonna look like is not a racist claim. It's a curiosity. Let's just recategorize that thing altogether. It was actually called a curious conversation. And so when Harry took himself over there to get the information, was listening to his father, he told his wife, and this is why William told Harry not to tell Meghan about what happened to him in that confrontation that he had, which I don't believe happened. I don't believe none of them. I don't believe it went down the way it went down. I believe that they changed the story to make it fit their narrative. Because I feel like William said a lot more to him. Excuse me. So, yes, just like that, don't tell Meghan. Why do you think he said don't tell Meghan? Point in case. No, if you're not woman enough, Meghan, to come and have a conversation with me about something that I said to you that offended you, then why would you go and tell everybody else? It's like gossip. It's like, guess what happened? They said something about Archie's skin color. And now we all know. Just like she wanted us to know who said it. Listen, the Queen said it. Philip said it. Charles said it. William said it. They all said it. You can't leave one without the other. So if you name one, they're all guilty. Because they're all one. They all got to deal with this stupidity, this Jezebel of a wife that he brought in to try to... This one woman thinks that she's strong enough to bring down a dynasty. When you attack one, you attack them all. When you attack William, you attack the entire United Kingdom. I can't imagine you guys not being upset. Here, let me move on because I got a lot to say. And I think I have an interview at 2.
A translation error. I don't know what the truth of this is and how this has happened. Omid Scobie claims that he never wrote the names of these 2 members of the royal family or household in his English version of the book. That is what he said he wrote, and that has been translated. So he says, I've no idea how this has happened. But you can talk about an error in translation, perhaps with one name, but 2? But I'm not so sure.
She said you can fix it for one name, but now it's 2? Now the lie continues. I thought Meghan was going to name it in her book, but no, she's ready to get it out. There's 2. They named them both. And now they're scrambling, talking about they didn't say it. You can listen to these journalists and these commentators realize that they are being taken for a ride with this stuff. Meghan is a fraudster, and she can no longer hide it anymore. It is out in the opening. And it's sad because you would hope that people would be able to suppress this about her. There's stuff in all of us that we just wish we were different or try to work on or try to be better. This that Meghan has is ruining her on such a big level. It's pathetic. The New York Times came out and blasted it and talked about how Meghan and Harry wrote the book. Blame them for writing this book. Blame them for talking about the same thing. I can't believe that Meghan is still in this la la land world to think that we will believe anything that she says. It's really ironic that she thought that she could get the word out through Scobie. No, he's not even he was just used as a vessel for her to get her stuff out. And he is benefiting it too because he'll get a little money, but it will end him. If he better save this money that he get from this book, because this is it. He might need to downsize. But he was used. Meghan used him. And he used Meghan. He did. They used each other, and they both are falling at the same amount. No one's gonna want him to. He's going to have to write another book. He's going to have to keep writing books to make money. I do look like... Anyway. No. I really believe Meghan has done it this time. Because no one wants to hear it anymore. Nobody wants to hear. And nobody cared who it said at this point. It's been 5 or so years. Excuse me. Sorry. It's been so long. Bury it. Shut it down. Harry came out and said no one said that they were racist. That was your moment to continue to get that lie going that she didn't call him racist. Okay? Then, now you have resurrected it. Let me let them say it.
But it doesn't make sense because if you write something and it has a name in it, then it has a name in it. And then when it's translated, you translate it with the name. But if it hasn't got the name in it, you can't put the name in it and then say it's an error of translation, can you?
And it's not in the English version.
Then it has a name in it. And then when it's translated, you translate it with the name. But if it hasn't got the name in it, you can't.
So he says, I have no idea how this has happened.
So to my understanding, what she's saying is, in the book, if you write a book, you write one book and then you give all the books, that same book, to all the publishers to make copies or whatever they're going to do. And then you translate it over into different languages. You don't have 2 or 3 versions of the book and then, but that's what happened. That's what happened. Scobie sent different copies to that book. He wanted to name the royal Meghan wanted us to know about the royal races because she wants us to go and trash those 2 people. She wants them right front and center so we can be talking about them instead of her. But what it has done is it has ricocheted back over there to Meghan them because now they are being talked about. I think she loves it. She resurrected something that should have stayed dead, and now people are looking at her, and they are being shamed. Listen, how could anyone be her friend? She keeps talking about something that didn't happen, and now she's pointing the fingers again.
But you can talk about an error in translation, perhaps with one name, but 2?
But
I'm not so sure.
But it doesn't make sense because if you write something...
But they confused. People are so confused. You're going to always be confused when it comes to Meghan.
And it has a name in it, then it has a name in it. And then when it's translated, you translate it with the name.
And
but if it hasn't got the name in it, you can't put the name in it and then say it's an error of translation, can you?
And it's not in the English version of the books. You and I have read the book.
Yeah, I've read the book.
And the names are not in there. And Owen Scobie has said, well, I can't put them in the book anyway because of libel laws here in the UK.
Well, and he's a liar. He's been proven to be a liar. And we already know Meghan is the queen of lie. You look in the book under lie, her face will be up under there. See ya!
What this has done, regardless of whose fault it is or what has happened, it has dragged up this royal racism row yet again. And actually, Harry and Meghan...
Whatever, see, they're not even talking about, they will, but we don't care. They know that he named Charles yesterday, okay? I know we know. I just don't know the other person. But like I said, if you name one, you name them all. So they're not even talking about King Charles being the one that wrote it. We do know that much. Why are they not talking about that? They are talking about the fact that it was brought up again, dug up from the earth. People are not, why are we talking about this? We shouldn't be. That's what these ladies are telling me. They're telling me they don't care that it was King Charles. They don't care it was the second person. They do. The excitement, the crazy part about all of this is that they're over there lying, talking about it got... Meghan is the queen of leakers. This is her MO. First, she blames people for leaking, and then she does it. So you would call this a leak in the book, because Scobie leaked the names out to the public, and Meghan gave him permission to do it. And these ladies are trying to figure out, why are we talking about this subject anymore? They're not talking about who said it. And then the two corporates that actually did it. It's sad. It is really, really a sad day to me for Meghan, Harry, and Scobie. And where's she at? Let me tell you something. Where is she at? Okay? And I say that because we have been seeing Meghan every day of the week. She's gone to concerts, she's going on the red carpet, she's at a game, she's at a parking lot. I mean, she's everywhere. You be like, oh, don't show her, don't show her, don't show her. She's there again. Now, the cow, they called her a cow. Oops, let's delete that from the subject. Now, the Jezebel tramp traitor has decided to go back in hiding. Let me know if y'all seen the Meghan Spidey. No, she's laying low right now to see what's going on with the go-on. You couldn't stop Meghan from coming outside going somewhere. Every time I looked around, someone was saying something about her being somewhere at the Beyonce concert. Twice. Parking lot getting ice cream. Invictus. Kevin Costner's moment. Two or three parking lots. Okay, at the game with Harry, at Katy Perry's concert, everywhere. Now she didn't shut up. Why she ain't going out with business as usual?
Trying to distance themselves from the claim, regardless of whose fault.
Ain't that my famous word? Trying to distance themselves. Sorry, I just gotta... It feels good. It feels good to hear them say that. It feels good. And I'm going to add to it. Meghan, Harry, and Scobie are trying to distance themselves from this. She said they're not.
It is, or what is how I've read the book.
Yeah, I've read the book.
And the names are not in there. And Owen Scobie has said, well, I can't put them in the book anyway because of libel laws here in the UK. I think what this has done, regardless of whose fault it is or what has happened, it has dragged up this royal racism row yet again. And actually, Harry and Meghan had tried to distance themselves from the claim.
Woohoo! Meghan and Harry are trying to distance themselves. We didn't do it. We didn't write the book. That's his book. We didn't do it. That's not ours. But Scobie said, Meghan, that he saw the letters that you wrote to King Charles and it named the royal races. So he did have the information and you gave him permission to say it. And I don't see you coming out with a statement like you did the other, when you were running around with the 2-hour car chase trying to explain yourself away. Yes, it happened. I don't see no statement now backing out. They're trying to blame Megs. See, they're always trying to blame me. I'm going to do a Oprah moment. She looks at Harry first, and Harry don't even look back at her because he know it's her fault. He know this is all her, but he pretends with her. See, so Oprah tells her, you're just here to do your brand, aren't you? What is she doing? What is Meghan doing? She's here to brand herself. She's here in Hollywood. They're moving to LA. That's what TMZ said. The photo capital of the world. The paparazzi of the world. You can't even look, you'll see a paparazzi. She's going to the heart of everything. She's not going to Malibu. She's not going to Montecito. She's going to Los Angeles. Hollywood. WME. Are you going to be able to resurrect? Because it's not just about her popularity over here in the United States. It's also important for her popularity to be great in the United Kingdom. Because if she puts her hand on it, if we want to see it, what, are we going to watch it anyway? You're going to watch her stuff anyway. No, you're not. Her reputation precedes her. It is a really bad rap.
That were originally made in the Oprah Winfrey interview, because around the publication of Spare and the interviews that Harry did, he was asked, are you saying that a member of your family, from the claims that were originally made
I want her to say it again.
I've read and the names are not in there. And Owen Scobie has said, well, I can't put them in the book anyway because of libel laws
we didn't do it
here in the UK. I think what this has done, regardless...
It wasn't Meghan's fault that Harry missed the plane. It wasn't Harry's fault. It wasn't Meghan's fault that they left the UK. It wasn't Meghan's fault that Harry doesn't have any more friends. It's not Meghan's fault that she's not talking to her father. It's not Meghan's fault that no one can see the kids. It's not Meghan's fault that she wants to be in Hollywood and Harry doesn't have any talent. It's always someone else's fault. And I picked this video because she tells it. She says, in this book, Scobie got Meghan looking like a real princess. I'm scared to, I'm not reading it, but I know he is just gushing her up. She's talented. She's got all this beautifulness. That's stupid stuff. Oh, my internet. Okay, hold on. Let's keep going, guys.
Regardless of whose fault it is or what has happened, it has dragged up this royal racism row yet again. And actually, Harry and Meghan had tried to distance themselves from the claims that were originally made in the Oprah Winfrey interview, because here in the UK,
can you?
And it's not in the English version of the book. So you and I have read the book.
Yeah, I've read them.
And the names are not in there. And Owen Scobie has said, well, I can't put them in the book anyway because of libel laws here in the UK. I think what this has done, regardless of whose fault it is or what has happened, it has dragged up this royal racism row yet.
No matter whose fault it is, in other words, no one cares anymore. No one cares that someone had a listen to this. Because it's not like a big slew of things that Meghan claimed that happened to her, that she was a victim of racism. As a matter of fact, she doesn't have one thing that is directly said against her or felt against her of racism within the royal family. Like, Catherine never said anything derogatory to her to make her come out and say, oh, guess what? They said this and they said that and they said this. She doesn't have a dialogue, a book, a whole to-do of racism. She doesn't have anything of racism. The only thing she has is a curiosity. And so for her to dig this up, it's petty and it's stupid. And people don't even want to talk about who said it and anymore because it has been debunked. And then so many times. I mean, that is so important to me. Because for us not to be talking about who said it, now we are focusing. It's true. It's every outlet. No one cares. It's not like, oh my God, he did say it. No, because we all said it. It's one of those things, I don't know. It's one of those things like, I said it, I said it, I said it, I said it. And so it really makes them look childish, petty, and Meghan looks like a drama queen. But she's more than a drama queen. She exceeds that, if there is. But the motive behind it. What was the motive behind her telling Scobie about the letters and all that and talking about they have mutual friends? Why would Meghan have a discussion with a mutual friend about a private letter that she's talking among King Charles with on the first place, Meghan? Why would you tell anyone other than your husband about personal things? The royal family didn't think that they needed to give you an NDA. They didn't think that they needed to shut you up. They thought you were mature enough to be a whatever you said in those letters to the Queen. You know, that you were going to be on the up and up. They trusted you, and that was a mistake that they made. Because if they had known before, you probably would have been over there in Frogmore. You probably would have never seen William and Catherine and the King, and none of them. But they realized really quick that something ain't right here in Marco land. And it still isn't. And I can't help to think this is some of the reasons why she's a D-lister. It's because she's a wannabe. You can't be something that you're not. You can't be an influencer if you're not. You can't be a producer if you're not. You can't be an actress if you're not. You can't be nice and kind if you're not. And she's not. She's unfortunately not this princess that people all hoped that she would be. We have given up on that. And not just that, she's not a princess in Montecito. She can't get her princess on in Montecito because she's out with her antics and gimmicks. 2-hour car chase, running around with security like she's the president. I mean, it's just stupid. And nobody in Hollywood need all that security because they're all celebrities. They're all famous. And so, okay, why do you need security in a building full of security and celebrities? Why do you need an aide? What is she going to do? Take notes for you? I don't know if she had her aide that night, whatever. But no, this is what her personality has become. This is who we're talking about. This is who we have. And that's why I say she's not royalty. She doesn't portray those attributes. And to me, being royal it has to mean more than just a name. It has to represent more than that. And while she's trying to disparage and talk about Catherine's work ethic, it's insulting. It's not even insulting. It's embarrassing to even say, because she works so hard. And then for Meghan to try to make her squad and the rest of them to believe this, it's just horrific. And the sad part about it is that some people will believe it, but most won't. And that's why WME will be firing her. And Netflix, I don't know what they're going to do. And she doesn't have all these deals going on. So she definitely didn't need this controversy. But obviously she loves it. I think that she gets high off of this stuff. She has to. Who would want to be portrayed? I would not want any of the titles that any one of us have given her.
Row yet again. And actually, Harry and Meghan had tried to distance themselves from the claims that were originally made in the Oprah Winfrey interview, because around the publication of Spare and the interviews that Harry did, he was asked, are you saying that a member of your family was racist? And he said, no, I don't think so. Actually, we're talking about uncle.
Meghan never said that. What is she doing right today? Did she or did she not coerce her pet Scobie to name him? She's loving this. She hasn't came out and said nothing. The little mouse is quiet. Squeak, 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 squeak. Listen, when she's up at night planning and plotting, she should have left this one out. I don't believe, and you can't, if I was her boss, if I was with WME, I would call her into the office. Have a seat. So I just got, word from my team that your friend Scobie has written a book, and it's got you all in it, and everyone is saying pretty much that you help with the book. Your reputation is being thrown around, and you're back in the news, Meghan. And I've tried desperately to pull these strings for you. Kevin Costner, get you into these high profile places, and you keep jacking up our efforts. No, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. Okay, so how does Scobie know about the letters that you wrote to your father-in-law? Was that before you hired us or something? Them are the only people that can ask the questions, because the journalists, they're not going to let them. They're not going to let them. But here's the thing, WME, Meghan is making a fool out of you.
Just bias here. So they tried to step back from
of course.
this. But what Scobie has done in this book...
No, but Scobie says Meghan's done with the drama and her pictures in the paper. How can you stay out of stuff that you start? How can you stay out of stuff that you stir up? How can you stay out of it when this is your show?
Is keep digging on that one and brought it back up. And the timing, of course, is particularly pertinent because we were starting to see potentially a thawing of relations. And
starting to see. Now, don't go there about the royal family and Meghan and Harry starting to get together. That was that fake facade stuff. Meghan did that so when the book came out, she would look like that she is trying to reconcile. Because in the book, it says that she's done with the king. She's done with everything over there. She's never stepping foot back over in the UK. Nope. If she wasn't married to him, she would have stepped back foot up in there. If she was still trying to get next to him and get connected to the royal family and all, Meghan got what she wanted. It's just ironic how she can just take it and run. I'm not ever coming back over there. I'm the Duchess of Sussex. Oh, okay. That makes plenty of sense. You don't want to go back to something. You don't want to go back over there to something that you keep talking about you are over here. I'm not going back to the Duchess of Sussex. The Duchess of Sussex. How? How can you say you're done with something, but you're going to use it? I'm going to use the royals, but I hate you. I'm doing this all by myself. You can't show us anything that you're doing by yourself because you're not talented enough to do it. If you were, then you wouldn't have needed Harry to get you over there with the Oprah people.
Olive branches between the king and his son Harry.
Yes, and
no.
I mean, the whole thing seems extraordinary.
Meghan is going to make sure that relationship stays broken. And then when he leaves her or whatever when she leaves him, then he will be able to reconcile with his family. But as long as Jezebel is in there, she is not about peace, forgiveness, and making up. But on the flip side, she want to tell us she cares about people's mental health. Did you care about their mental health when you were on the Oprah show talking crazy? Did you care about Philip's? Let me tell you something my subscribers be telling me. Elderly abuse. Did you care about Philip's health when you went on the Oprah show and started talking crazy, talking about what we're talking about now? No, I don't think so. But she wanted Catherine to rub her back down. It's okay, Meghan. It's okay, Meghan. No, that's how you know she's a whiner, and that's how you know Meghan is a whiner, and she wants you to make her. She needs attention. Ooh, I think she needs a lot of attention, and it's me. My sister-in-law wasn't worried about me. I was the one that was going through. You always going through something. When are you not? That's a lot of work someone will have to do to keep her rubbing her back. No one asked me how I'm doing. Okay, millionaire. Are you okay? You just married a prince. You should have been in honeymoon blitz. They should have been still getting their groove on, and she worried about no one asking about me. Your husband wasn't giving you enough love. You had just met him. Then you met him 15 minutes. Married him 15 minutes later after that. Now all of a sudden she lonely? I would have been insulted if I was Harry. Where are you? Knock, knock. Who's there? No one's there, Harry. No one's there. I would have told her, how in the hell are you going to be lonely and you got all of this? Well, then you need to leave. Pack your stuff and get the skadoodle. But you leaving Archie here. You go and do your Hollywood stuff. I hate that he wasn't strong enough. I do. The worst part of this entire situation is that her husband was too weak to stand up to her. When they were going through, oh, no one asked me how I was doing. I said, oh, come on, Harry, come on. Put your big pants on and put your pants on now. And tell her to get somewhere and sit down. This is what you married into. If you wanted to do Hollywood, you need to go on over there, and you ain't taking my son, and you can say whatever you want to. We'll deal with it on here. Harry made a big mistake. He did. Poor Harry.
People, I think, are wondering why this would happen. Some people are wondering whether it's a PR stunt. The other thing people are concerned about is that now the name...
What PR stunt? Okay, so let me try to figure out what they mean by it's a PR stunt. No, Scobie needs the money. It was a scam. And I think they should investigate it. I really do. I don't know who does that. But, Meghan continues to get away with stuff like this. Okay? Now, WME told her to shut the hell up, and she did the opposite. She used someone else to do it for her because she can't. She can, listen, you can make all this money off of me and Harry, and we'll give you, we want you to name the royal races. Well, how are we going to do that without legal implications? Well, I know. We can have one book in one area. One book in one area that's written with the original. No, they're lying. They're scheming. Meghan is playing games. And I can't get over her and that stuff. I can't. I would love to have a conversation with her. But if she starts going all into that covert and taking me there, I would be like, listen, bring it. Make it make sense. And stop thinking that everything and everyone is racist. You know when you've been mistreated. You know when you've been called something.
Name one particular name and possibly the other name are out there in social media, on the internet and everything else, whether they can be reported by us here, which they can't, or by British papers, they're out there for people to know if they want to know them.
They are, and it is very damaging. And in some respects, Vanessa, it takes me back to earlier on this year when Spare was published early in Spain, and everyone was scrambling to get hold of copies of the Spanish version of Spare, and then the translations of that copy. But obviously, this is extremely damaging. The copies have been pulled from the shelves, but it's too late. It is out there.
Yes.
It was picked up by journalists yesterday who've been given a review copy of it, and it is out there on social media. And whether or not Harry and Meghan wanted to distance themselves and move on, because in the book, Scobie talks about them, wanting to look forward now and not wanting to keep going back to the past. This is taking us right back to that Oprah Winfrey interview and the claims that were...
What did she say? Come on, veterans. They're taking us right back to the Oprah Winfrey Show. Right back. Something that Oprah tried to bury. I bet you Oprah is regretting. She will regret. She had to. She took the show. Oprah, they need to say that too. They need to tell us that she took that off the show, because Oprah was trying to run from it. But I want to hear her say it, because I told you the end of Meghan is going to be that Oprah show. It is. And whether it's buried today and reopened tomorrow, we will never stop with the Oprah show. But it's taking us back there. Here we are again on the Oprah show. Did you really want to bring that conversation back up, Meghan? Because you have. Did you not see the implications behind your trickery?
Scobie talks about them, wanting to look forward now and not wanting to keep going back to the past. This is taking us right back to that Oprah Winfrey interview and the claims that were made about how difficult things were for them within the royal family.
Well, I'm on about page 318.
But it's just amazing to me how these millionaires can have this much of a struggle. And not just that, but Meghan wasn't even over there long enough to be talking about stuff like this. She was over the it was happened so fast. It happened so fast. And as you can see, they have nothing new to talk about. Nothing. They keep revisiting and rehearsing the same old stuff that they won't let go of, that they conjured up in their mind, and they still think that they deserve an apology. And this was their another attempt at it. Meghan is waiting for the king to come out with a statement apologizing to Harry and Meghan for all the stuff that Scobie has said in this book. I'm going to say it again. Meghan is shooting daggers. Blanks, because Harry and Meghan's attack on the royal family no longer holds water. It's watered down. We've been through this before with Harry and Meghan, and they keep saying the same thing over and over again, and their motive is the same. And so as that continues, it doesn't hold that much power anymore, because now it's just petty and stupid and two children that won't get their lives together, because they're not even over there in the royal family anymore. They've been in Montecito. Meghan hasn't went to go visit, but she's still talking crazy from over here, still talking about what's going on behind the scenes. And there's nothing going on behind the scenes, because William and Charles has cut these two people that want to constantly talk about their relationships in the media, and not just their relationships, go after and trash. And so, honestly, it's a different day. It's not this bombshell. It's not like, oh my God, this has happened. The shocking part about it is that Meghan and Harry continues to talk about this. I was going to say something else, but then I switched the subject. I did in the middle. No, and people just don't care anymore. It's the same thing. They're like two little kids that have nothing to do and wants to constantly go after. This is what I was going to say. She has no relevance to the royal family. She hasn't been back over there. She made the mistake of not going to the coronation, because that would have gained her something. Your connection to the royal family is what makes people like you. And then if you're not connected to that family anymore, people really don't care. You have nothing to offer in your personal arsenal. You don't have any movies. You don't have any songs. You don't have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Because if you did, you would have been doing that before Harry. Because your D-list moment was, didn't nobody know you. You was not known. And now you're broken off from your lifeline. And I know that because you have no more, your deals are drying up. Nobody cares because you have nothing left to say. Okay, that's done. You don't have your own talent to do anything, so that's out the door. I will never understand why you continue to talk about the same thing. And then, well, what there's so many parts to this. The other part is how Meghan, I think I need to cut this off and do a part 2 because they get too long. I think the 30 minutes are good. I'm going to shut this one off and we're going to pick up where we left off. Okay, let's do that. Kisses to all of you. Please hit like, share, and send this to your friends. Send this to people that you know. You know, help me get there, please. It's almost that time, and I know we can do it. I'll be right back. See you soon.